So I'm standing on a small wooden box. To my right is Kate in a red shiny Speedo, the most magnificent looking middle-aged mother with her hair in a high blonde ponytail. To my left is Anne Marie in a Janssen sporty racerback, and me in the middle in my faded black Calvin Klein tankini with my cottage cheese ass hanging out, and my hair matted wet. I look sort of like an isosceles triangle. And I was now going to participate in a mother-daughter swim meet at the Scarsdale Golf Club. What the hell was I doing at the Scarsdale Golf Club, a club that in the 1970s didn't even let Jews like me into the club, and I was on a platform ready to jump. So when I was a kid, I had a fantasy that I was really Princess Grace's daughter. I had decided early on that Caroline and I were switched. She belonged in Queens, and I belonged in Monaco. And obviously, this wasn't true, but I had such a fertile imagination that I knew one day I would have my own manor, even though I wasn't born to one. My sister and I were really lucky because my parents, even though we were pretty poor, bought us a Barbie dream house. And I don't know if anyone's ever had it, but it was the most magnificent gift you could get. And we must have redecorated that dream house every single day. We would take my parents' shelf liner paper and make it into wall coverings. I would take washcloths and make them into area rugs. It was like a Pinterest, three-dimensional for little kids. And I knew one day if I thought really hard about it, I was going to have all the things inside the Barbie dream house. And my grandfather was a furrier, so he took a little remnant of white mink and he transformed our Barbie into Cotillion Barbie. And I thought, I want to come out one day like Cotillion Barbie. So when I got to college, I worked so hard and I was hyper-focused on being a successful adult. And I became a talent agent, starting out as an assistant, and then working my ass off 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, until after promotion, I owned my own agency, and I started to move up enough to get out of the Queens apartment, and just like Wheezy and George Jefferson, I moved up to the east side, and I thought, I am on my way. And apartments started getting bigger, and then I met my husband, who was this incredible-looking, Aryan-looking guy with these Hugh Grant blue peepers, and I knew he'd have a really strong gene pool. So we didn't really get along, but that's okay. We made it work, and we got married, and I had these 3 Shiksa goddess and god children, and it made me as a Jew so happy with their thin blonde hair that I would never have and blue and green eyes. I was just beside myself. And finally, the day came and we moved to a big house in Scarsdale. And I thought, this is it. But I was still this dumb kid from Queens who was always a little too loud and always snapping my fingers. So I would sit on the front stoop and I would yell people over to come talk to me like I would at home. And everyone ignored me, and it took me weeks to realize that they were the housekeepers and the nannies just walking to work. They had no interest in talking to me. So I figured I better join a club. And I picked the one that really did not fit where I should be, the Scarsdale Golf Club. This was a club where the men had pink belts with whales on it and like veiny red noses from too much alcohol, and the women had these faces, shocked-looking faces, and they were poured into their Lily Pulitzer shift dresses. And there was me, always too loud and always just off sync, and I didn't care. And my daughters, they were so adorable. They were 9 years old at the time, and in that blind optimism you have that your mother can do anything, decided I would be in this swim race. Now, I had neglected to tell them I didn't know how to swim. And I had never jumped into a body of water, because where I come from, what we called beach clubs were really these cement ponds where you would walk down the stairs, wet to the waist, go like this, climb on the chair, put on baby oil and iodine, and read Valley of the Dolls or People magazine. We weren't from the swimmers. And I'm on this platform thinking, I cannot disappoint my children. That is the role of a mother. So the lifeguard says, on your mark, get set, go. And I hear, dead man walking. And I do the only thing I could do. I shimmy into the pool. I scrape my back on the cement, and I start wildly dog paddling while I see Kate and Anne Marie gliding across. And I'm creating a tsunami, and I can't swim. So I get about halfway, and then I'm hanging onto a buoy, thinking I'll just stay here and catch my breath, because the alternative is they're going to have to do chest compressions, because I'm not going to get to the other side. What seems an eternity, I finally get to the other side. By this time, this race is over. I think the signs are coming down. They're having their Cape Cod cocktails. And I'm so afraid to look at my children because I think they're going to be so embarrassed and horrified that I'm their mother. And instead, what I see are these two little girls laughing their asses off, because it really was quite a scene, seeing their mother crawling out of the swimming pool. And I thought, everything I dreamed of, everything I worked for was staring me right in the eyes. And it was like a baptism. I got out of that cold Scarsdale Golf Club pool, and I knew I was still a little girl from Queens, but I won.